What's up everyone, Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. As you can see, we're looking at a product here from Browning Black Label. This is the Tripwire knife. First thing I'll tell you is that if you go over to Amazon, this is listed as a hunting knife. I suppose you could use it as a hunting knife, but it is way more inclined toward tactical applications, so just something to keep in mind. Some of the details: it has a modified spear point. It's made of N690CO stainless steel. It does have a false edge on the top there. It is partially serrated, has a black oxide finish. It has G10 scales on the handle, and then it has a built-in wire cutting system. And we'll show you the sheath in a moment, but that is MOLLE compatible. Some of the other details you might want to know: price point is going to run you around $160, $170. Your Rockwell hardness rating is 58. And then as far as your overall size and of your blade, it's going to be 6 inches, and your overall length is 11 5/8 of an inch. Here's a look at the sheath. You can see we do have MOLLE webbing there on the front, and then on the back you've got MOLLE webbing and also this big loop so you can attach it to your gear. You could also put it on a belt. I will mention to you that the way this blade fits inside this portion of the sheath, you've got a leather strap here with a snap. You've got a hard plastic backing, which you can see right there, just a little bit in the camera. Let me get the light. There it is. You can see the hard plastic backing. And then on both sides going in, you've actually got foam. And it's just kind of an interesting way it's set up. It's a very hard foam. I guess the idea is if you're putting the knife in and accidentally you kind of stab, you're not slicing into anything, you know, that's vital to the sheath functioning properly. It's just a piece of foam, which eventually you could replace if you had to. In addition to the sheath and the knife, you're going to get 2 of the pivot bolt wrenches, and we'll talk about that and what that does. And then you get some instructions. There's one side, and there's the other side. I want to show you the back of the sheath system here. We've got this one strap of webbing, and then you can see 3 across the back of the sheath. Now, the way you're going to set this up is you're going to put it onto your MOLLE system, you know, say a vest, a backpack, whatever it is, and you're going to basically weave this through the MOLLE that's on the backpack, let's say, and then through the webbing. MOLLE in the backpack, through the webbing, MOLLE in the backpack, through the webbing. When I first saw this, I was like, where's the snap, where's the buckle, how's it going to really attach? But I'll show you in one moment here. When you do have it attached to, you know, in this example, I'm going to show you a backpack. It is very, very secure, so you don't have to worry about it falling off at all, you know, tumbling around or whatever. Very, very solid. Actually more solid than some other MOLLE systems and attachment methods that I've seen before. The other thing I'll show you real quick here is here's your loop that you can put over your belt. You can see here's one loop and the second loop, and there is Velcro here, so you can open that up, put it over your belt, cinch it down, cinch it down, and then you're good to go. Here's a look at the knife in the sheath and now attached to my VanQuest bag. It's in the MOLLE. Very, very sturdy. So despite the fact that that system looked a little bit strange to me as opposed to something that's got a snap or Velcro, you know, hook and loop, this system still works great. So very, very secure. And it's attached to the bag, but you still have some webbing here, so you can actually put something on the front of the sheath as well, and you can still, you know, take the knife out quite quickly and then replace it, snap it up, no problem. So really, actually really nice when it comes to rigging up the knife to some sort of MOLLE webbing system. So let me pick up and handle the knife here a little bit, just show you what it looks like in hand. So that's what it looks like to actually hold it. And as you can see, I mean, you've got the blade, you've got the plain edge, you've got the serrated edge. You do have these holes. So let me just see if you can get it in the light there. But you can see they go the whole way through. And then you have this false edge on the top, this kind of swedge here and the swedge here. You do have these big guards here, which with a set of gloves, that's just really, your hand can really lock in there. It's not going to slide up past those 2 guards. And I will tell you that because it is a tactical knife, and Jared Wahangi works with Browning Black Label, and he's just trained people all over the world as far as bladed arts and things like that, you know, knife fighting. It's definitely, it has, you know, just day-to-day use for, you know, someone who's on SWAT or in law enforcement, military, but also certainly self-defense. I mean, this knife definitely can be used as a self-defense knife. So you see kind of the basic cutting features. You got your blade, blah, blah, blah. Down here on the end, very aggressive, you know, glass punch. They call it skull crusher sometimes. And then you've got this little red button here. And so when you release this button, slide it forward, look what the handle does. It opens up like that. And now you can see right here is your wire cutter. So essentially you're going to put something in there, and then when you close this, it actually cuts the wire. So the right here on the top of the blade, your wire is going to go through, and then it's basically going to just cut it. Let me zoom in there so you can see that up close, but that's what that looks like. to actually be used as the wire cutter, and then when you're done with it, close it up and slide that back. Now it's locked in. We're zoomed in here on the actual wire cutting portion of the knife, and then once again you've got the this section that's going to pivot like so, and if you put something across, right across here, my finger's too wide to slide under there, but right across there, it's basically going to, as this comes down, it's going to clip it off using this wide portion of the top of the blade. That's about 1/4 inch across there. So that's your wire cutting option built into the tripwire, and once again when you close this up, it's locked into place, and the way it's recessed and the way it's set up, you're not going to really bump that out by accident. Your hand where it falls shouldn't cause any problems for that. We'll show you real quick what it looks like to use the knife. We'll start off with just some basic paracord here, and we'll cut using the plain edge. So as you would expect, no problem whatsoever with using the plain edge to cut paracord. Move down to that serrated edge, which with paracord, sometimes with serrations, sometimes the paracord is so small that it can get kind of jammed up in there if you don't move the blade quickly enough across the paracord. But no problem. This thing is comes quite sharp, I'll tell you that. It's not you're not going to get it and have to spend a lot of time on your work sharp or on a stone, anything like that, to get it up and going. Just make sure if you're using small, paracord like this, you want to really move it quickly across the blade. And one more cut here using the plain edge. So that's no problem whatsoever for the tripwire. I've got the wire cutter open, and I've got a little bit of wire here. This is like what you would use to hang pictures. This is good up to 25 pounds, so it's not a very heavy gauge wire, but just to show you how it works here. So you basically put it in this section like this, and then just close down on the handle like so, and watch what happens. Just takes it off really easily. And again. So you can see that works quite effectively. Again, let me close this up and just put that down so you can see it, and then I'll pick up the wire here and show you. So quick work of that wire. What I'm going to do is now just kind of twist these together, and it's not a perfect system here, but I'll twist them together to get at least them a little bit more layered, and then we'll do it again. So let me open up the knife. And then with all 3 wires at once from the thickest spot of those 3, and then closing down here, still no problem whatsoever with those wires. Now, other than the largest wire cutter up here, which as I release the handle you can see what that actually looks like. You see when I open this up, there are those 2 other holes. So we have the largest opening here, and then the second largest, and then the smallest. The option for these 2 basically is that if you want to slide wire in there and cut, or you can slide wire in there and then kind of pinch it and then strip the wire as well. And they do note here that this is not meant to be a primary wire cutting option. It's made for use in the field when you're like, oh no, I gotta cut through a chain link fence or something like that, and you don't have other wire cutters on you. This is kind of a backup option. They also do include those 2 little wrenches, so if your pivot bolt here gets loose at all, you can tighten it down. And I like the fact that they include 2, not just 1, but 2 in case you lose one, out in the field. Just want to show you the wire cutter a little bit more in use. This is a galvanized nail. See if we can break that off and cut that. Hard to do, but pulling, squeezing here. That made it through that as well. So here are some overall reflections on the Black Label tripwire. First thing I'll tell you is that this is more of an overview as opposed to a full-fledged review. I haven't had this for months. I haven't tested it in a ton of different environments. And as I often say, I'm not an operator like law enforcement, military, so I don't have that experience to be able to say this is going to be perfect for that type of use. What I can tell you is that it seems very durable, seems nicely made. The sheath, I would say, is above average. It's not great, but it's got some nice features as far as, especially that MOLLE system to attach it to your MOLLE. I just think it's kind of counterintuitive. You would expect something with a clip or a snap to work better, but that seems to be very, very secure, so that's nice. You've seen it cut through a bunch of different things, including some basic wire, but also a galvanized nail there, which is pretty impressive. So that's just something to keep in mind. Seems to perform quite well. It's clearly geared to the tactical applications. This knife is also clearly built to be a self-defense option for people who are, going to be in law enforcement, military, etc. So it is hefty. It's a big knife. It's going to run you, over $150. But thus far, I've been pretty impressed with it. I do like the wire cutter feature. Is that something that you're going to use every single day? Absolutely not. And that's not what they designed it for. But nice to have that as a backup option when you're out in the field. And if you're looking for a knife that's got a nice edge, a corrosion resistant metal, and has got some extra features built in, the wire cutter, the glass breaker at the end, has a straight edge, has a serrated edge, and is just going to be very comfortable to use overall. This might be one that you want to check out. So once again, the Black Label Tripwire, and this is made by Browning. Thanks as always for checking out our videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids on YouTube if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram and Tumblr as well. Take care.